Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the weekend reading for Saturday the 2nd and Sunday the 3rd of January 2021. Thank you for joining me. Hope you're well wherever you are. This is a major arcana reading using the ancient Italian tarot. So let's see what we can see for the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd of January. Oh, go on then. I'll take it. But I don't know what way up it's going to be, so I'm just going to do it like that. Oh, how lovely. The Fool. I don't usually take jumpers, but that I did take that one. And I'm very glad I did. Look at that. The Fool. How very apt for early January in a new year. Oh, obviously in a new year, if it's January. That's wonderful. Right. And the High Priestess. Oh, this is looking nice. Let's see what the third one's going to be to get us going. Okay. Yeah, there's what this is talking to me about already is about the juxtaposition of the empty mind and the knowing mind. Know nothing, know everything. No escape. Death in the upright. Wow. Okay, well there's acceptance here. This is extraordinary. So we've got the kind of the empty-minded child, and I don't mean that in a nasty way here with the Fool. It's really lovely. It's really fresh. It's the open road. It's discovery. That's so lovely. And my eye is being drawn today to that detail on the trousers there. If you'll forgive me. It's something to do with what's underneath the surface. Pulling apart, pulling something open to look in and see what's there. That's really, really lovely. It's really fresh. The High Priestess, conscience, the inner knowing and the inner sense of self, the sense of really, I think, very fully occupying our own being. I'd just like to share a little story with you. I can remember the point at which, as a child, I became aware that I was me. And basically that was my ego identity, my ego consciousness kind of switching on. I remember I won't go into the details of it, but I do remember it as a real sort of step in my mind, basically. And it must have been some fusing neurons in my brain. And I suddenly became aware that I was me and that nobody else was me, and that I was only me and not anybody else. That kind of oceanic sense of everything merging ended, and I became an individual. That's what the High Priestess card is about in the tarot. So it's absolutely lovely. We've got, as I say, this very open, infinite possibility in the Fool, and followed straight away by this very, very strong sense of presence of self within the self as part of this infinite possibility embodied in the Fool here. Death is change, inevitable change, impermanence, the coming and going of all phenomena, the ever changing reality, and the impersonal nature of it. Death is not confined to naughty or bad people. It happens to everyone. So there's nothing personal involved in this. And there's also a kind of little note, not of warning or caution in the death card, but certainly it's it's notable that the trappings of the material represented here by the book with knowledge, power over others with weapons. We've got the bishop's mitre there, so religious or spiritual power. We've got jewels, there's wealth, tools, that's capacity. It all goes. None of it actually really means anything in the face of this, and this could be said to be the only true thing, ultimately, and as I say, completely democratic in its nature. What does escape is creativity, here represented by the artist's palette. So this is hugely expansionary in its message, this reading. And we've got the infinite possibility of the Fool. We've got complete self-possession of the High Priestess, and we've got the ultimate in impermanence, and that's the only permanent thing there is in life. Impermanence here in the death card. It's extraordinary. I don't know, I mean, it's just turning me into a little weekend philosopher. I don't know about you. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like, well, what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? Apart from everything being possible, the self being the self and only the self, and the ultimate truth of impermanence. I mean, it's flipping enlightenment, isn't it? Okay. Let's see if we can kind of collapse this quantum wave into a bit more of a particle. Oh, right, okay. Hubsy has come to join the I don't think they're married, but you know what I mean. We've got the High Priest now, the Hierophant. So we have here the kind of the codifying of this trio here, the message of this trio, which is kind of everything, really. We've got the codifying of it into a belief system, into a behavioural system that can be written down and transmitted, and that expresses itself within the collective of all the other souls who are repositories of infinite possibility, total possession of self, and impermanence. We're all like that, and that's what this is telling me today. It's not just us. This is sorry, it's blowing my mind a little bit, I've got to say. There's also embodied in the Hierophant the matter of kind of social and moral and spiritual kind of rules and institutions. I mean, the High Priestess is spirituality, the spiritual and the instinctive on the individual level. Card number 2, by the time we get to card number 5, we've codified it, and we've made it something that everybody can see, everybody can understand, and everybody can live by. So it's a beautiful sort of establishment here of the energy of this initial trio. The beautiful establishment of it within the world in a way, as I say, that can be codified and communicated and understood and sort of followed, I suppose, and adhered to. It's a kind of moral and spiritual law, if you like. Okay, let's get one more. It's very peaceful, but simultaneously very expansionary. Ooh. Right, look at this. So we've got 0, 1 and 2. We have the Magician now in the upright. This is absolutely beautiful. So this is taking this, I've got to say it, cosmic weapon energy here and making something with it, doing something with it, which I guess is what I'm doing right now, this moment. I'm taking the ways in which I'm choosing out of the infinite possibility of interpretations. I'm choosing the interpretation that suits myself, knowing that it's really sort of nothing to do with me. It's nothing. It's not personal to me, and broadcasting it on the collective and turning it into something. And the Magician this is absolutely lovely, and clearly this is available. This energy is available to all. Okay, I'm going to get one more before I leave this. One more. Let's see if we can see a little bit into the mirror of this, about the direction of the Magician here. Oh, sorry, I need one more. There we go. Oh, what is this? Oh, the devil. Okay, so this is the now we see the challenge. Now we see the direction of travel and the limiting factor on this beautifully expansionary energy, the devil. So what is it inside us that we use of ourselves to keep us tied down? Is it our sense of the past, and perhaps some burdens and hooks and binds and chains from that? Is it some aspect of our character, maybe, that we kind of focus on an awful lot and perhaps define ourselves by, and thereby limit ourselves by, and create a hook, a bind, a bond and a chain? Is it perhaps the connection we have with one other individual in our lives that defines our sense of possibility, identity, power and capacity? Is it a connection we have with one other human being that, even if it might be to do with love or desire, or a sense of needing something, being dependent on this other person in order for us to feel happy? How is that acting as a hook, a bind, a bond and a chain? Because, in all this expansionary energy here, the individual lives with their own limitations. And the reason we live with our own limitations is because we create them. We create them. We give fuel to that fire in order to kind of keep ourselves where we are. Now, I'm just going to look very quickly at the tools, at the objects being held here. So I'm going to move this to one side. We've got the scythe, we've got the trident, we've got the shepherd's hook, or crook, sorry, and we've got the stick of the fool here. So we have support and help. We have that which sweeps it all away when the time is right, because it's always the right time. It is. We have that which guides the flock and the mass. And we have that which prods and, let's put the magician back there, prods and kind of like, and kind of reminds us. So what is it? What is it that's prodding and kind of needling us? Because whatever it is, I tell you, it is our own creation, and it is our own interpretation, and it is our own choice to remain chained, bound, and hooked by it, fueling the fire of that connection. And as such, as our own creation, we are in a position to extinguish it anytime we want. What wonderful power. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you again soon for another reading. Namaste.